Hello everybody, Thy Lord Root here, and welcome to this first episode of Let's Play City Skylines. This seems to have become quite popular. I found out about it through Tyler Rise. I'd actually seen something like it, I believe first through Sips. Anyway, Tyler Rise started playing this because he saw, Inner Elysium playing it, if I remember correctly. And that, of course, means that this is sort of a chain reaction. There's lots of really cool maps here. I just saw a Settlers of Catan map, and maybe we can even see that with the content manager if we go to the Steam workshop or whatever. But we don't really have any save games here. These are the maps that come with the game. They are CRP files. Crap files? I don't know. Not exactly sure how the maps are made. That would be something to look into. But I'm doing this more or less blind with a little bit of assistance. From the videos I've watched, I kinda have an idea of what I'm supposed to do, but I haven't gotten that far, aside from testing this to make sure it would work. And it does tax this video card just a little bit. You can see there's a lot of things here. We can do a number of things here based off of the resource distribution. I'm just going to go with the plains, because there's plenty of water and lots of land. So, we could do that. I haven't really done the tutorial yet, so I'm going to skip through it. But, yeah, we'll figure out something here. So this is kind of like SimCity 4, in a way. There are features missing. I'm just going to close this, it's the tutorial. One thing with the tutorial is that it's not really that easy to figure out how to move. I'm using WSA&D to move the camera. Right-clicking and moving the mouse does not seem to work. You can press Z and X. Z zooms in and X zooms out, and we can have an idea of the lay of the land here. So this place is pretty much enclosed in, and it's pretty small. And we got this nice little off-ramp here. I'm thinking, given the fact that we're surrounded by highway, I am possibly just going to use this as a terminal point here. And so what we can do now is we can go here, we can build these roads. And in particular, we want to lay down our traffic, or our main road here. This is Main Street. It's going to want me to place that road, unfortunately. Fortunately, I can delete it. But, yeah, it's a little two-lane road there. Ideally, now that we have that, we want to go and demolish this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up so that this is fairly easy to access. So you can do a number of things here. Some of which includes things like, after building this larger road here, you can take these little one-way roads, and we're in America, of course, so So I am going to do the American thing and drive on the right side of the road. Now that is a 6-lane highway. And in reality, we want a 4-lane road maybe instead. Of course, we can easily get this guy here to become a point of entry. And I think I actually did this in reverse. Yes, I sure did. So right now it is complaining, I think, because nothing is connected. Maybe. It is really quite difficult to tell. I think if we right-click on this, we can change the direction. Although what I'm going to do, because we get a refund of some kind, and we do have a fair amount of money, I am going to come out here to the edge and just do this like that. Maybe. I have no idea which direction this is going in. Space is already occupied, which is a little unfortunate. And we aren't really thinking too much about this, I don't think. Oh, because of the fact that you know, there is this guy here. So that is at least going in the proper direction. Unfortunately, there is no way to merge these highways here. So what I may do is I may do something like that. That will allow us to merge on as such. It might be kind of good for us to have already a bit of a roundabout. And so we'll do that. We can make that easily happen with something kinda like this, to where we got this build tool that will let us build like so. It's not going to be perfect, but what is that space occupied by? I wonder. Anyway, I'm making the assumption that this might be a fairly heavily trafficked zone. Perhaps erroneously. And that because of that, we might want something like this. It'll be an interesting little place to develop, because we are just coming off of the highway. Well, anyway, let's get our main inlet roads going. You know, my idea here, so we got this coastland that needs to be developed, where we would want, for instance, a water source. And we can definitely do that. I might even want to come over here, but that bridge is going to be difficult for us to develop. Likewise, we'll probably want another road coming out here as well. And it may actually be possible for us to, instead of going through the roundabout, maybe even to go like this. I'll have to see what kind of effect this has on the traffic. So, there are roads and all, but roads are not really, they're not really the only thing we have to worry about in this game. We need to also worry about power. And there is a fine place for power up here, as it would turn out. These dark blue zones are usually good for windmills. And so we're going to do that. And then, of course, in addition to that, we will need other things, like, for instance, fresh water, which I'm going to draw from here. So, that's one thing we can do there. On the opposite side here, I am going to put an outlet. And this will allow us, because we're within our city limits now, we could extend that as necessary, so that our sewage gets carried downstream. So I'm just going to make a direct connection here. And we'll just go ahead and get this roundabout situated. That we should be ready to consider our local deal here. So these main roads will carry the bulk of our traffic. But we need a little, I'm not quite sure what to call these kinds of roads, to tell you the truth. Let me just zoom in a little bit. But just like SimCity, you do want to be fairly close to the road if you can hack it. Oh, wait, yeah, hitting space pauses the game, it would seem. And I'm really not ready for the game to be unpaused yet. So, we will go ahead then, and we can zone. I'm gonna put, various things here, like maybe a commercial zone would be a good idea. And in addition to that, I'm going to create some residential zones as well, where people can live. Now, we do want to be careful with this particular deal here. We want to avoid, really we want to avoid sudden stops here. That could be quite disastrous for us. Particularly coming off of this highway here. But this may be an okay place for now to merge these guys in. Let's see. Space is already occupied. We will just do like that. Have ourselves a little road that they can come up. And ideally, we have demand for residential here, so residential zones are going to be where it's at. Likewise, we will want industry eventually. And I think we can get that going pretty easily. One thing that we will need to do at the moment is maybe get some power going here. And we can get that way out of the way. We need to power our water pump here, in addition to our bilge pump down over here. We still have some 29k left. And I think the main thing we're going to have to worry about is overextending our taxes. That could be a bit of a problem if we do that. At any rate, we want these people here to be able to do the usual things that you're required to do when when you're in a city like this, which is, basically going to work is one of them. And there's really a number of ways that we can make all that happen. You can see I've wasted a little bit of space here already. But my thought is we have this residential zone down here. And then maybe it would be nice if we could make this thing go straight like that. But, yeah, maybe then it will be possible for us to get this guy going here. So lots of places for us to begin thinking about this. Definitely the water situation is something we're going to have to think about. And I think we will simply take advantage of the fact that we are pretty far away. I think this is an acceptable place for an inlet here, because we do want periodic inlets so that these guys can get around, and that is important for sure. Importantly though, we also want a fair amount of industry, So, yeah, we'll get the industrial thing going here. I think we will just simply go ahead and maybe start here. Connect these guys over like that. That way we'll have places for people to work in addition to places for people to buy things. Because consumerism is quite important here. Maybe I can just extend this down just a little bit so that we can do something like that. That also means we'll have some coastal area here. So, yeah. Let's just finish that up quick. Maybe get, these guys taken care of, I think. It's okay. We're, okay like this, I think. We'll have this industrial area here that these guys can come to. And they will be able to do their thing. Now, maybe I've overplanned this a bit, but I think it's important that we nonetheless do something kind of like this. There is a way, I believe, to drag and drop these guys. I'm not sure what it is, however. What's important is that we build these guys up so that they are able to do their thing. We want to get as many people as we can. Ooh. No, D-zone. That is a bad idea, what I just did. The rest of this will be largely undeveloped for now. Simply because I do not feel like developing it quite yet. I don't quite feel the need to have a happy town, as it were. Because it seems to me like a happy town is a sad town. Maybe. They're all depressed on the inside. As much as I should not do that, I will do it, and I will get these guys back. Maybe reclaim some of this. Let's just go down here and make that happen. And if we go to the water now, we can fix up everything. As you might expect, people like having water in their homes. So we do have to hook everybody up with water. Otherwise, bad things could happen. People, I guess, could... I don't know if they could revolt as such. I, 'cause, 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 ' You wouldn't want them to, of course, but yeah, I mean, you don't want these guys to be underdeveloped by any means. I think, that's not a bad start. We have a little bit of money, so maybe we can afford another power plant. But only just. So I'm going to unpause it and get people to move in. And like in the Sims games, or the Sims City, you can speed this up. And you can see our first houses are coming in. Eventually, people will pay taxes. Though nobody seems to have power for some reason. Or water, for that matter. Why is a bit of a mystery to me. Oh, we're not quite close enough. Now, how are these guys missing their water here? I bet you this thing is not connected. Oh, sure ain't. That is a bit of a problem. Now, hopefully water will flow to everybody here. And our issue will be solved as everybody becomes hydrated. Kind of an expensive start. And we are now in debt. Let's see what people are saying, because as it turns out, there is Twitter, or something kind of like it. And of course there are these tools over here. We can see our power usage. We are well in the green here. Water availability is good. Residents are happy. But we are not yet collecting any revenue. Oh, we're collecting a little bit. Alright, somebody is having issues with water. Who is it? And one moment, we are back. Yeah, somebody's complaining about water. I guess it's because I screwed up. Oh, I see. That guy is slightly outside of the zone. Very, very slightly. We have exceeded our means. We are almost in the black here. But we are losing a lot of money very quickly. Sunspot activity high. For some reason or another. Oh, and it's telling us about the water in the sewage. If we just leave this out here, you can tell. Well, maybe not. We have not very heavily polluted our river. We have high demand for industry here now. And I think I might have gone just a little bit overboard with the design. Though, you know, people really are coming in here. Oh, we have a brownout of some kind. Which means, maybe we should consider possibly taking out a loan. If we go to loans here, we need a population of 500 before we can do that. Because we need loans and water. Yeah, I think, you know, there's other things here as well. We can view our milestones here. Which means we've gotten elementary schools. Oh, it's 500 on this map. Excellent. I think we have been given a grant here too. So why don't we take advantage of that? Let's build for the future. How's our water looking? Water is okay. We do not need to expand our water. However, it might be good for us to be considering the waste problem. And I think the waste problem is definitely one to consider. So, yeah. We now have a landfill that we can use. And nothing really in the way of demand. Hopefully our energy production has gone back up. And it'll be slow going for us for a while. So the hope is that we will be able to pull up a fair amount of things here. You know, given our grant money, I say that we consider the option of possibly extending this out just a little bit. But we have more in the way of residences. We have a little bit of commercial demand too. Which is actually kinda nice. Let's see, what do the citizens demand? Oh. Education. Might be a good thing for us to have, but the power needs, I think, are more pressing. Let's see. Just raise and stick this guy in here if we have enough money, and I think we do have enough of a reason to go ahead and take out that loan. Bit of our budget. We'll see. Let's just run this thing forward so see if can maybe get that taken care of. What is our next milestone? Our next milestone is a population of 1,000. And we can buy new areas to expand the town with. We're halfway there. But with the short-term loan, I do not know if it is such a good idea. Do we have a water shortage of some kind? Oh no, it's just new houses being built. Commercial is actually pretty high. So I'm going to maybe zone this as commercial. We can always rezone it later. And that will bring in the additional revenue that we need. Okay. I think a fairly large commercial zone is definitely worth considering. At least for now. These guys will act as a buffer to prevent anything difficult from happening. And we're almost at our second milestone already. So if we can get this guy straightened out here, I think we should be able to. We can have ourselves a fairly large commercial zone and nobody will complain. And there we go. Second milestone here. Can now buy new lands, which I'm going to... Whoa, no, don't do that. Expansion is definitely an idea here. I mean, there are other things like You know, we want better roads, maybe. But let's zoom out. I think we're largely missing trains. I don't even know if the map allows for trains. I think it only allows for transportation over this area here. So this may actually be a fairly quick game. At least it would seem. So yeah, we can handle this, I think. And why not just zone all of that off as either commercial or industry? I think commercial is probably best here because we will eventually have more in the way of demand. But it would be good for us to consider the possibility that perhaps we now have better residential prospects here, and that we want to perhaps improve the ability for our guys here to do their thing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of pre-planning here by building a road essentially to nowhere. And that will help us out a great deal, I believe. Because we can now drastically increase the length of this road. And possibly get more in the way of residential zoning going on. You know, actually, at some point here, I'm just going to pick an arbitrary place to do this. Maybe somewhere like here. You know, we'll have this guy to depend on. We'll make it a loop. That will unfortunately cut off some of the power that we have. And that's unfortunate, but we do have a much better solution for power now as well. You see, in fact, I believe everybody here is hooked in some way or another. And we'll just pick a corner that space is already occupied, huh? Or what is the question? Because we do depend on that. I'm going to spend the last little bit of money here on possibly a school, which I believe I can fit up into this corner up here. Because we want these people to know things. And let's just unpause here. Grow a little bit more. Should bring our residential demand up doing that. They want a healthcare facility. How's our water doing? Water is good. Electricity, not so much. We're sort of on the threshold. We'll probably lose some of our electric potential. You know what, I think this guy here actually makes a pretty good intersection. We have a fire that we cannot yet, or a fire station we cannot yet afford. That we want in a relatively central location. That fire station is 1200. I'm just going to wait for our thing to come up here. Put this in a rather central location. We'll put it right here. Yes, Twitter is going nuts. We want that fire department because you never really know when we will have fires. When is our next milestone? That milestone comes... Oh, there is construction there? Or is that on fire? It would seem that I placed the fireman in the wrong area here. Which means we need more firemen. Because I guess this industry has a nasty habit of burning down. Now I think will be the time that we take the loan. We definitely do have high need here. So let's pause and maybe do a couple of things here that would essentially involve us building more residential zones. And because we're the mayor, we are now despots as well. That has made somebody unhappy, but they're going to have to deal with it. Because even though I am the mayor, they're asking me to work miracles, and I do not abide by that. Better get our water situation figured out pretty soon. Yes, I'm aware of the fact that they want more residential zones. That's what I'm working on. Just use this guy right here for now. And we will fill in anything that could potentially be a residential zone right now. And there we go. Everybody wants to move in now. And there are now issues with crime. And we will somehow have to deal with that because it is making people unhappy. And, well, I normally would not care about that. Let's see. One moment. Okay, so, yeah, we have this rampant, issue with crime here. Because everybody wants to be a criminal. And there's also issues with brownouts as well. Because we no longer can support this, we'll just save up the money. There we go. We should have the money now to do this. clinic was the other thing they wanted, I think. I think we'll make this relatively central. That should bring up residential demand a bit more. We still have some money left and high demand on the high demand on one or two fronts here. The power really is beginning to become an issue here. I need about 6,000 to properly address that. Certainly, I think we're beginning to grow beyond our means already. And despite the demand, we are now beginning to hemorrhage cash. Probably because I stupidly took that loan. What have we got here? We have extended too far. Way too far. Because we have bars and our fire department is... What is this that I've built? Not enough water. Oh my. We're massively in debt. It seems to me that we grew a little bit too fast and now everybody is out of water. Leaving in droves as my short-lived administration has not really done much here. Yeah, we'll reject this. I am just going to let this thing spiral out of control. And I got an achievement for that. Let's see. Maybe I should have taken that loan. Let me pause this and... Well, are you going to pause? We need significant upgrades to our infrastructure. If I can get this placed. as it appears that we are now on the brink of catastrophic failure. Is there anything else we can do here? Our energy consumption. We're gonna have trouble with that. We need more in the way of... What kind of power plant is this? It's a coal plant. You know what? We need this. So, yeah. I think, this is about the best place for us to leave off for now. We've definitely got issues with fires and abandoned buildings, and I will have to look into that. But I will save this, and we will maybe try to recover it, because the loan has been difficult, but you know, maybe there's a way that we can take care of all of these abandoned buildings here. And yeah, we'll just let that go for now. Anyway, this has been Thy Lord Roots, and I will see you later.